Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
She's going to be seeing on this video. She's kind of like, I don't understand what's going on.
I don't even know what's going on, really.
But I'm going to try to explain because nobody understands what's going on with Sony, and they did an update on the PS4 to get ready for the PS5, I guess. And people thought that Sony was going to start recording all of your dialogue.
Why did they think that?
Well, because they kind of didn't communicate it very well.
Did they kind of say they were going to record that stuff?
Well, yeah, they updated their terms of service.
Oh, okay. So they tried to hide it, and people found it.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's more like what happened. We're going to talk about some of the issues here. And, it wouldn't normally be that big of a deal, but Sony is, they're doing a lot of really weird, skeezy stuff lately. And their brand is damaged, I think, with gamers. I mean, look at what happened with the Naughty Dog situation, The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, one of our videos out of nowhere from months ago.
It was yesterday. Somebody flagged one of our Last of Us videos
from months ago.
From like 4 months ago, and they said it was manually flagged, and they said that they were going to put it behind an age gate. Whatever. You have to be 18 plus to see it, which I don't even understand because I wouldn't have done anything.
No, we always make sure we mark things pretty accurately.
So anyway, so there's that. There's the fact that they're censoring games. And people just have a lot of really not so fresh feelings about Sony.
Well,
these days.
Did this cause a problem? Did people canceling their PS5 pre-orders and things? Did that happen?
I'm sure some people probably did. I know a lot of people, if you go out to Twitter, a lot of people are done with Sony. Like, they're done. Now, I mean, look, the PS5 sold freaking gangbusters, right?
They didn't have that many whatever was out. They haven't even released it yet. Just what they had up for pre-order, which they screwed that up too, but that's another story.
But this is another blow against Sony, the censorship issues and all of that. And then we just had, a couple days ago that there was a story that came out that a lot of the AAA game developers are going to be working with these organizations to try to profile gamers. So we've already got
profile them in what way?
To see if they're alt-right Yahtzees.
Because, why did you say extremists? But extremists could be both ways.
It only goes one way.
Oh, well, see, that's not fair.
Yeah, they basically said the extreme right. That's what they're going for.
But I got called racist names on Twitter by extreme left people because I thought they overused prom in TV shows.
You don't understand. They're on the right side of history. There's a difference between being on the right side of history and being an alt-right Yahtzee.
Also got told that I clearly am uncomfortable with gay people because I said prom was overused, because that makes sense. Anyway, but I'm just saying, there's just as much shitty behavior on the far left. Extremes are always bad. Doesn't matter which side they're on. They're called extremes for a reason.
Anyway. So there are all these negatives kind of swarming around the mainstream gaming industry at this point. Then this shit happens, and people lost their shit. So Sony says your PS4 is not spying on you.
Okay.
With the new 8.00 update coming from Paul Tassi.
Well, they better be telling the truth, or if they find out otherwise, they're going to be in big trouble.
Sony's latest update for the PS4 is a little controversial, to say the least. We're going to go out there and pull up some tweets. It's going to be a lot of fun. It seems to be mired in some level of technical issues for many players, but there's one thing that Sony wanted to get out in front before it spiraled out of control.
Well, they must have had concern to be worried, because they wouldn't have done this if they didn't.
Some players were receiving a notification about how their party chats may be recorded after this update. This led many players to freak out and say that Sony and PS4 now had the power to spy on them. But Sony's pushing back against that, saying that rather this is a part of a new TOXICITY fighting tool.
But that doesn't say they aren't doing it.
Right. In order to take on harassment via voice chat. Here's the clarification. We're doing this for your own good.
Oh my God, but then they're right to be upset because they got a notification saying they're doing that. And then their answer is, yes, we're doing that, but it's for our TOXICITY fighting tool. Have you ever played a game on these games? Okay, like Overwatch and the ones, all these party games and stuff that you have, like your groups. Did you ever listen to the people on there? I don't care. You got little 7-year-olds using language I would never use, and that's saying something. You got everybody's yelling at each other, calling people names, making jokes. This is nothing new.
I was just thinking of little kids like, suck my cock, motherfucker.
They do. They call them squeakers, and they do. And my sister has many stories. Squeaking has told me many stories about these kids on the chat and the stuff that comes out of their mouth. And you're like, oh my God. So I'm like, but everybody does that when they're playing games. They get caught up and they get pissed. Like, you're cheating, you're hacking or whatever. And they're like, they make comments like all the time. Like really sexist comments and things.
Oh my God.
The time.
Sexism. Yeah, so Squid King, when he first started playing, multiplayer, and he does a lot of, Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege. He loves that.
No, right now he's on Overwatch again.
Yeah, he's back on Overwatch. But they used to call him Squeaker. Yeah,
they did. He
wouldn't
even speak. He wouldn't even use the headset and mic.
He was afraid to.
Because he'd kick their asses and then they'd be mad because he was a kid.
Yeah, and they were trying to recruit him for Rainbow Six Siege. It was so weird he wasn't old enough. But anyway, he now he's got a deeper voice than I have.
He doesn't run into that problem now, but he still doesn't go on to chats. He doesn't feel comfortable with it. Plus, it never feels that when you have your microphone on, it picks up something it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes that could be embarrassing.
It could be. Okay, so anyway, here's their clarification.
Especially when I'm your mother. Go ahead.
They're not denying it technically. They kind of, sort of. Following the update, users are seeing a notification about party safety and that voice chats and parties may be recorded. Voice chat recording for moderation is a feature that will be available on PS5 when it launches and will enable users to record their voice chats on PS5 and submit them for moderation review. That can't possibly go wrong.
Not at all.
How many people are they going to need?
Good luck with that one.
Good luck with that.
Like I said, have you listened to some of these people on these games?
Oh,
Go ahead.
God, it's going to be the new Twitter.
Everybody does it.
The pop-up you're seeing on PS4 right now is to let you know that when you participate in a chat with the PS5 user post-launch, they may submit those recordings from their PS5 console. Okay.
So it's not even fair. It's like those who have PS5s can do it, but PS4 people can't.
So he says, yeah, he's confused. Paul Tassie's confused. This is a coming PS5 feature, but the update is sending out a notification on PS4 for some reason, as that aspect still isn't really explained. But the overall purpose is to allow the recording and reporting of party chat in order to be used as possible action against an offensive user.
Okay, now, on the flip side of this, I will say, there have been times where there were threats made or things made and that they had been able to have a recording, that legitimate instances, stuff could have been done. But most people are just messing around. They're all the ones who are going to be the victims of this because they're, yelling and swearing or whatever. But there are instances of real, actionable complaint things that people said that you might want a copy of. We've run into it with Squid King before. People making threats at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to report it, but the problem was you really couldn't report much of it other than what was in writing because they didn't. Well, we didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean that was ages ago, but yeah, they were like, I don't know what's going on.
He was like a little kid. It was like a long time ago.
But it's basically like, well, people are paranoid, but maybe they have a right to be paranoid because the phones are listening and everything's listening to you.
How do you know it's turned off? What if you don't want to be listening in your house?
Yeah. So here we go. Eurogamer, nothing to worry about. The internet briefly thought Sony was listening to PS4 party chat, and then memes rolled in.
Well, it sounds like they're going to listen to PS5 people.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like,
oh, no, guys, you've got this all wrong. We're not going to listen to you. We're going to start listening to you in a couple months.
That's right. That's basically how it sounds.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, we freaked you out. The last 24 hours has really been busy for debunking next-gen console gossip. Well, here's the thing. Maybe people wouldn't believe all this shit if Sony hadn't already damaged their own reputation.
Right.
People don't really trust Sony anymore. After rumors ran wild claiming the Xbox Series X kicked up a huge amount of heat, today the embargo on impressions lifted. It's actually not the case, they said. But the Xbox wasn't the only company to deal with tinfoil hat theories. Tinfoil hat theories. As yesterday, some PlayStation users briefly thought their consoles were spying on them. They still do. The internet went wild. The rumors began when PS4 users spotted a message informing them their PlayStation could record their party chat and send it to Sony.
Okay, if it isn't doing it, why send that message? So I told a joke, and I laughed, and you laughed, and the guy on the PlayStation 4 listening in laughed, and then I knew we were in trouble.
Many immediately felt sympathy for the moderators at Sony, joking that they were about to overhear some terrible things in the party chat.
Yes, no question.
Oh, we're all getting banned or worse. Here's the thing, though. Look, I'm not trying to stir up tinfoil hat theories, but when this comes just days after the news broke that AAA game developers are working with organizations to try to weed out toxic gamers.
Well, it sounds like they were. It's a little convenient that they were together, though. You know, like suddenly we put this announcement out, and then we backpedaled. It makes you kind of wonder.
Remember when Twitter denied that they had all these shadow banning tools and all that stuff, and then it came out, somebody hacked and got their dashboard, and yes, it was true.
Mm-hmm. Now, Twitter's probably a lot of troll right now anyway. That's story
a whole
entirely.
Thing. Sony, after listening to people getting into heated arguments and PS parties, you're getting banned, you're all getting banned. How many times are they going to moan the PS4 party chat?
Pretty much.
After a PS4 party chat gets reported and they start listening, look, I mean, the fact is the functionality is there. Mm-hmm. Whether they do it now or do it later, it's still
They're not saying
there.
that. They're not saying they're not going to do it. They're just saying, well, it's for PS5. That's what they keep saying. It's like, so basically you're going to do it when people have PS5s and they can report people on PS4s. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
They can record the chat and report them if they have a PS4. And those people can't record the PS5 people, but PS5 people can record them, is basically what they're saying.
Wait, Sony's recording voice chat, meanwhile your cell phone.
I know, pretty much.
But yeah, again, you start to put all of this together, the pieces, and it's not a tinfoil hat theory. Basically, there is, I believe, an effort on the parts of Sony and companies, Sony and possibly Microsoft and the AAA game development. They want to control gamers. So you're not even allowed to have fun in your games. Not allowed to say what you want to say in your games because they're going to monitor that to make sure that you only say that have the right thing. Only say the right things, and you vote the right way. I mean, think the right way. Oh, did you say that? Niche Gamer covered it yesterday. They said, no, we're not going to. No, promise, guys, fingers crossed. Right next to Electronic Arts, Ubisoft more joined ADL to push social justice and combat right-wing extremism in gaming. Now, no, we're not spying on you, honest, even though this whole statement, this article was basically like, we're trying to identify potentially toxic gamers. What I'm worried about is the fact that they're referring to it as push social justice. Shouldn't it be just like pushing equality? Yeah. Shouldn't it be something like that? Pushing, being a decent human being? Shouldn't it be something like that? No. It's going to push. So basically, social justice is usually, associated with one extreme, and right-wing extremism is associated with another one, even though one specifically named what it's named. They're both extremist, areas. But you're basically saying one extreme area is fine, the other one is not. That's what you just got done saying. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to pull this up, that Pimp Master Broda, who I follow on Twitter, put a clip up of a gamer who has found themselves locked out of their PS4. That's funny as heck. Yeah, it's worth noting this new policy and procedure is already being flexed by Sony, as we've been receiving reports of users already getting locked out of their accounts on PS4 for perceived violations of the code. But what is this code of conduct? I think it's pretty murky. It's basically if you're a toxic person. But based on what? Based on your language, your behavior, your social media. I don't know. Have you been on these chats or on these game things? Most of the people on there with their mics on are going to be toxic. They all act like this. It's hilarious to listen to because they're flipping out, and it's like, what the hell? Anyway, go ahead. So, Pimp Master Broda, everyone's discovering just how fun the new PS4 update is and getting auto-suspended by bots for general profanity in parties, even by yourself. Wait, so if you swear and you're playing alone, you're not even yelling at anyone. But you're using the wrong words. People who didn't think this would happen are naive AF for taking a corporation's word with no doubt. I agree with them. Mm-hmm. I think that we've seen this before. We saw. I'm debating if we should cancel our pre-order. I'm really considering it at this point. I mean, we saw it with Twitter. Twitter said, no, we don't shadow ban. Absolutely not. That's bogus. We don't shadow ban. Mm-hmm. And then somebody got in, and I forget, it was a group of hackers or whatever got in, and they're like, here's the dashboard where they show shadow ban users. What if we say something on our videos they don't like? Are they going to turn around and ban our account on our PlayStation? If that's the case, I'm not even buying it. Well, YouTube is already using something like this because what they do before they run ads on your video is they actually go through and convert all the verbiage to text, the speech to text, to see if you're saying things you should not be saying. If it's as good as their translation feature, that's probably come up with some really interesting things because it translated stuff our daughter, who was 9 at the time, was saying, and they changed it to foul words, which she was not saying. Yeah, they had our daughter because she wasn't speaking very loudly, dropping F-bombs like crazy in some toy opening video.
But she never said anything bad. No. It was their software that automatically translated it to find those foul words. Anyway,
you can go out on Twitter and listen to this profanity-laced rant. He's really not happy. He got locked out, I think, for swearing, using wrong words, wrong thinking.
And he's playing by himself.
Playing by himself, I believe, yeah.
You can't even play with yourself anymore, people. They're watching.
Sony won't let you play with yourself anymore without banning you. So, it's going to be really interesting. A lot of people don't believe Sony. I wouldn't believe Sony. I don't believe Sony.
So what if you're using like one of the VR headsets and you stub your toe or your cat trips you and you yell like F or something and you something because you scream or something because you hurt yourself? Are they going to kick you off a PlayStation because you said the wrong thing?
Here we got some replies to their announcement. Sony reversed this shit back. If people play online, they're subject to harassment. To effing bad, they can't play offline. Oh God, not gonna bother with this one. Don't forget you can do mods on PC, guys. A lot more fun. A lot of people have been going to PC.
This is not gonna help their case.
PC and Switch seem to be the two platforms preferred by serious gamers now. I've been a loyal PlayStation player since PS1. The last month's performance got worse. Hardly any good games, hardware problems, and now this update. Can I get 30 seconds of your time? Restock the PS5 now. Wow, people were jumping. Yeah. Who asked for this? No, I can tell you who asked for it. People who are concerned about the toxic males in the gaming industry.
And the toxic people that,
those toxic
those who want to control free speech. Those people are the ones who are doing it.
No. Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. There are some times you're like, listen to these people, and they're like, they go way overboard on them getting upset about playing matches and calling people names. And all that. I mean, that happens often. There are extremes. I will admit that. But when you go on, you know that going into it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people, they said they can't connect. I don't know. I'll have to check with Squid Game. I don't think he's fired up the PS4 in weeks.
No, he always plays the computer now.
Yeah, he always plays PC.
Or Switch.
PC or Switch, where the real gamers play. And just putting that out there. We do have a gaming channel, by the way. Clownfish
yeah, you do.
And it's all PC and Switch games.
Right now, yeah.
I think we had one. I think we played Earth Defense Force. And that was
he loves Earth Defense Force. Yeah. So that's one of his favorite things.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep.
This is gonna be really interesting to see what happens when the PS5 drops.
Yep.
Don't drop any F-bombs or you might get banned.
That's right.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.